All right, guys, I think it's time to get started. Welcome to the Grow Your Tenor 2017 overview session. This is going to be a half an hour long webinar. It'll probably be about 20 minutes of slides and then some time for questions if anyone has any, which you can pop in the chat on the bottom left-hand corner. Just so you know, my colleague Emma is also online on the chat, so if anyone has any little questions that they'd like answered, Emma will be able to get to them as well. So as I said, the webinar will last about half an hour, about 20 minutes of content and then 10 minutes of questions. Just so you know, this webinar is being recorded, so it's going to go up on our YouTube channel in a day or so's time, so you'll be able to show it to anyone that you'd like in your organizations. And also, we're going to send an email around over the next 24 hours or so with the slides from today's webinar. So don't feel like you have to scribble everything down. All the slides will be sent around to everybody if you leave your email address. So, just so you know what we're going through today, we're going to go through the key facts of Grow Your Tenor 2017. So just quick overview of what the campaign is all about and some of the key features of the campaign. We'll talk through one-time and monthly donation match conditions. We'll talk through the charity and supporter limits and the match fund size, just so you can familiarize yourself with the campaign. We'll go through some things to bear in mind when taking part in the campaign. We'll quickly talk through Grow Your Tenor's achievements to date. I'll give you a couple of case studies of successful groups. So groups in previous years who've taken part in Local Giving's Grow Your Tenor and done really well. And then we'll go through our resources and communication guides that you can use during the campaign. And then, as I said at the end, we'll have some time for questions. So, Grow Your Tenor 2017 key facts. The campaign starts at 10 a.m. on Tuesday the 17th of October, so a couple of weeks' time. And the campaign will run until either November 16th or when the match pot runs out, whichever one comes first. I really encourage you, even the people taking part in this webinar, to go to the campaign page on our website and just quickly familiarize yourself with the start time and the end time and all the sort of matching conditions before you take part. So the campaign pot is split into two separate and distinct pots. The first is a one-time donation match. And the way that this works is that if a supporter goes to a charity on Local Giving and donates £10 after 10 a.m. on October 17th, Local Giving will match it. So £10 will become 20. We can also process the gift aid eligible donations. So it's a really easy selling point for you to give to your supporters. If they give you £10 during Grow Your Tenor, you'll get £22.50, including the match and including the gift aid. So it's a really unique selling point. It's an incentive for the donor to donate, and obviously, the more you get, the more access to match funding you get as well. So it's win-win-win. The other sort of aspect of the campaign is the direct debit donations match. So the way that this works is that if someone goes to Local Giving, chooses a charity and sets up a direct debit, a monthly donation, after 6 months, Local Giving will match that direct debit for another 6 donations. So basically, over the course of a year, the second half of the year will be matched. So instead of getting 12 £10, which would be £120 over a year, you'll actually get £180, including the match element. So it's a really great way if you're thinking of trying to get supporters to sign up to regular giving programs, to sort of hook them in and say, if you do it now, if you sign up during Grow Your Tenor, not only will we get your £10 every month, but after 6 months, they'll match it for 6 months. And obviously, it'll be worth so much more to you over the course of the year, and it's a great way for you to sign up supporters. So as you can see on the right, we do have this infographic, which I hope sort of explains it. The way it works is that the donor goes after 10 a.m. on October 17th, sets up the direct debit. They keep that direct debit active for 6 donations, so roughly 6 months. Then on the 7th donation through to the 12th donation, Local Giving will match it, and then it goes back to just being a normal direct debit. In terms of the limits of how much a charity can get during the campaign, each charity or group on Local Giving has a maximum of £5,000 of match funding that they can avail of during the campaign. So every group on Local Giving can get up to £1,000 for one-time donations matched, and up to £4,000 from direct debit donations, which, as I said, are matched for 6 donations. So that's the 6th to the 12th month. So the maximum you can get matched is £5,000. And just so you know, notifications will appear on your local giving page if one or both of these limits is hit. And I'll actually show you an example of what that looks like later on in this slideshow. In terms of supporter limits, so from the donor's perspective, each supporter can claim up to £10 of match funding via a one-time donations per charity, and each supporter may set up one direct debit donation to a charity they wish to support through the campaign. No more than one direct debit may be set up per individual to each charity, but a supporter may donate to as many charities as they wish. So it's just worth bearing in mind from your perspective, you have to get as many supporters as possible. You can't just sort of get the same supporter to go through and put more and more £10 through. It's really about asking the supporter if they want to help more. Would they be able to talk to their friends and families to get more £10? Would they be able to spread it on social media or help you promote the campaign in any way possible? But from the supporter's perspective, they can get one £10 one time and one direct debit of £10 per charity. In terms of the match fund size, so we currently have a match fund pot of £200,000. It's split evenly down the middle. £100,000 is reserved for the one-time donations, and £100,000 is reserved for monthly donations. If one of these match fund pots is used up quicker than the other, then the campaign will continue with the other match fund pot. So if one-time donations is reached after a couple of days or a couple of weeks, we'll still be able to continue doing the monthly donations matched because the other pot will still have money in it. So as I said, it will run on until the money runs out, or November 16th. I would expect that the one-time donation pot may go a bit quicker than the monthly donation pot, but we really never know with these things until they get going. So the best thing to do if you're thinking of doing a one-time donation campaign is to have people ready to go really on October 17th. And those first couple hours and first couple of days of the campaign. And with the monthly donations, it's really about getting people signed up to direct debits also as quickly as possible after the 17th to ensure you get it, but I would expect that that may run a little bit longer than the one time. So just so you know, this is what it'll look like when one of the match fund pots runs out, or if you reach your limit, your individual charity limits. There'll just be a sort of notification underneath your profile on Local Giving that lets your supporter know that while they can still donate, they won't be able to take part in the match fund. So if you're nervous about sort of reaching that limit and then other supporters not being able to take part, they will be told that they can continue and make a donation. They just won't be able to be in the campaign and have the donation matched. That would be a good problem to have if you reached your limits with the match fund pot. So a couple of things just to bear in mind when taking part in the campaign. One would be that direct debits have to be set up by the supporter via the website. That goes the same for the one-time donations. So there's no offline forms. There's nothing really you have to do other than drive people to your local giving page. Everything has to be done via the local giving page. The other thing to bear in mind is that direct debits have to be set up after 10 a.m. on the 17th of October to be included. Same with the one-time donations. It has to happen after 10 a.m. So if you have some people who are really eager to take part, tell them to wait until after 10 a.m. It's an automated system that is going to be matching the donations, so there's really nothing we can do, even if it's 9:59. They have to be after 10 a.m. So please encourage your donors to watch the clock and wait to 10 a.m. Just in case there's any confusion about the matching period for the direct debits, the way it works is that after 6 donations of a direct debit from a supporter, the following 6 will be matched. So the first 6 aren't matched, and then the following 6 are matched. So it's £60 worth of match funding per direct debit from your supporters. And just so you know that after a year, the direct debit donations will continue, but they won't be matched. So basically, if someone sets up a direct debit, it's active until they cancel it. So it is your responsibility, if you want to let them know, to cancel the direct debit after a year once all the match funding has been used. I'd encourage you not to do that. A better thing to do would be maybe to sign them up to a newsletter, keep them informed, keep them up to date with your charity and what you're doing, so that they don't want to cancel the direct debit and they continue to support you. I would really look at this campaign as a great way to get to get people signed up to a direct debit. Just so you know, guys, Emma will get to a couple of your questions in the chat, and I'll get to a couple at the end. We won't ignore the questions. Some other things to bear in mind, some advice from what we've seen from previous campaigns. We've kind of got 5 tips here. There's a resource you can download with this information on our website as well. But basically, just know the campaign, familiarize yourself with all of the limits and all the terms and conditions of the campaign. It's quite straightforward once you get your head around it, but just make sure that you know it so you don't run into any difficulties with explaining it to supporters. Refresh your webpage. So I'd log into your account, make sure that everything's up to date, make sure all the information is correct on your local giving page, maybe put up a more recent photo and make it look nice and snazzy for the campaign launch date. Biggest tip would be to spread the word. Send it out in as many places as possible. Put it up on Facebook, Twitter, get your supporters to put it up on their social media accounts, put it out in an email, reach out to local newspapers, put it up in a poster in your center. Spread the word with everyone you're talking to about the organization. Let them know that this is an amazing opportunity for your group to get some match funding. Spread the word as widely as possible, and more people will want to take part. The other thing to bear in mind is to promote the monthly giving aspect of it. The one-time donation pot is obviously brilliant for getting quick access to donors, quick access to funding, but the monthly giving aspect of Grow Your Tenor really has a legacy factor, a long-term factor that you can tap into. The more people you get signed up to direct debits, the more sustainable your organization is in terms of online fundraising. So you really, if you have people that you think are open to the idea of signing up to give regularly, promote the match offer and try and get them interested in the Grow Your Tenor scheme. And then finally, just stay up to date with the campaign. Make sure that you're following it. We'll have loads of information on our website. Follow us on Twitter, and we'll be posting updates. But just make sure that you know that how the campaign is going, how much of the match funding you've unlocked, how much of the match pots are remaining, so that you can keep your supporters up to date, and so that you know what's going on. So just so you know, Grow Your Tenor has been a local giving campaign for 6 years. It has been our flagship campaign, our biggest match fund of the year. It's raised over 6 million for local charities and community groups across the UK. And last year alone, it raised over 1 million for 1,300 members. So it's our biggest campaign of the year. It's the biggest perk of being a member of Local Giving. Make the most of it. Try and get people signed up to direct debits. Scream and shout about it, and make sure everyone knows that this is an amazing opportunity for you, not only to get access to lots of supporters, but also for you to get lots of match funding. So we've got a couple of case studies here, and I just wanted to talk to you about sort of good examples of what other groups on Local Giving have done. So this first example is from a group called Friends of the Arts Centre in Wales. So basically, this is a really good example of a group who pushed the direct debit aspect of Grow Your Tenor and did really well. So the Friends of the Arts Centre group used it as an opportunity to upgrade non-paying members of their charity. So they had a list of about 1,000 people, and they only a proportion of them were sort of paying members of the charity, but the rest sort of liked the work of the group and had signed up to a newsletter, but weren't paying any subscriptions to the charity. Because they had all their email addresses, it was really easy for them to send out a personal appeal saying, thanks for your support. You can help us achieve so much more by donating £10 a month. And if you do it now, Local Giving will match your donation. So they sort of reached out to groups people that they thought might want to pay £10 a month, to give £10 a month that would be open to that idea, and use the match offer that Local Giving had. So they use a lot of messaging like, this is too good of an opportunity to miss, and they really sold the end result. Things like, if 10 people signed up to give £10 a month, that would be enough money for the group to do this project. So in the end, they got 21 new direct debits during Grow Your Tenor. 18 of them are still active nearly a year later. So that's worth over £2,000 over a year. From those 18 donors, that's £2,000 a year in funding for them. So the members, just didn't get anything in return. It was just a donation, and it was a sort of symbolic thing of supporting the group and saying that they were going to donate So there was no issues with gift aid or anything, and they were able to become supporters and friends of the charity. And yeah, they're just a really great example of making the most of Grow Your Tenor's match fund. Another example would be First Steps in Bath, who are a really good example of the sort of one-time donation aspect of Grow Your Tenor. So just making the most of that instant match, £10 donation one time will be matched. So they raised over £1,000, which they say they couldn't have done without Grow Your Tenor. They said that fundraising can be time-consuming, but in comparison with other campaigns we've run, there's less work involved, far more benefit, and the chance for us to promote our work to a wider audience. And that was really key for them because they felt that Grow Your Tenor raised the profile of First Steps Bath because they were able to identify a number of people who hadn't donated before but now made a donation for the first time and became more committed to the charity. So they found out that not only were friends and family donating, but promoting the campaign, they were raising their profile in Bath. It was giving them a chance to demonstrate the breadth of their work. And they actually said that local giving is a more open fundraising transaction in comparison to a trust application. So instead of spending time working on applications for grants, they found that by spending time and dedicating it towards Grow Your Tenor, they were getting out into their community. And yeah, they felt that they made a real push via Twitter, and that not only did they get all of the donations and all the match funding, but they got an additional 13 followers on Twitter, 28 more mentions, and over 400 more profile visits. So you can really see how by getting on board with the campaign, using social media, not only did they raise money, but they raised their profile, and obviously that has a long-term benefit to the charity. More supporters, more volunteers, more donors, maybe more service users, just a greater awareness of what you do in your community. Just so you know, if you want to take part in Grow Your Tenor, there's loads of resources you can use. You just log into your fundraising toolkit, log into your local giving account and go to toolkit. And there you'll find printable, editable posters you can use. You'll find lots of social media material you can use. So Twitter banners, Facebook banners. You'll find a newsletter template, so something you can copy and paste into your newsletter that explains the campaign. And you'll find lots of guides and advice around how to promote direct debits, how to make the most of match fund campaigns, how to optimize your local giving account. Here are some examples of the posters that we've done. So the one up on the top left is the infographic to explain the direct debit match period. Then we've got social media banners. We've got that editable poster there where you can write in your own charity's name or your charity's URL. And then we've got the general Grow Your Tenor poster that you can put up on social media. So there's loads of stuff you can use, loads of templates, loads of guides. In terms of communication and the press during Grow Your Tenor, we'd really promote everyone to promote the campaign on social media. Use hashtag Grow Your Tenor, linking with supporters, tag us in it, tag Local Giving's Twitter accounts. Try and get as many people seeing it and as many people's attention as possible. Some tips we would recommend are using local blogs. So reach out to local blogs online, ask them will they feature the campaign, reach out to local newspapers. Online forums and local Facebook forums are a great place to promote campaigns like this as well. Always thank the donor after the campaign. Send them an email. You can do that through your local giving account. And also thank them generally on social media. Just general shouts out to everybody saying thanks for taking part. And during launch day and during the campaign, celebrate the key milestones that come out. So tweet about it, send an email out about it, put up a post on Facebook celebrating the first donation you received, when you reach the halfway target of what you want to reach. If a significant donation comes in, just celebrate it, try and build a bit of buzz, and try and get everybody on your social media channels and on your email list, or even just through word of mouth, interested in this thing that you're doing, and get them trying or get them wanting to take part. We have a press portal that you can use. This is a screenshot of a press portal that we have on our website. If you go to Local Giving, we have this page where you can search for local newspapers in your area and then send them content. So you could go to your Local Giving toolkit, get some information about the campaign, and then send your local newspaper all the information that you want to give them about your charity taking part in Grow Your Tenor. We have 3 more webinars that are coming up over the next couple of weeks that are going to go into a little bit more depth. This was meant to be an overview session to familiarize everyone with the campaign, but we also have a reaching new audiences online, so building your social media presence, trying to get more people interested in what you do. That webinar is taking place on the 27th. Then we've got how to make the most out of a match fund campaign, so really, more in depth, how do I get the most out of match fund campaigns on Local Giving? That's going to be on the 3rd of October. And then we're going to have a last session that's specifically about the direct debit campaign. That's on October 12th, and we're going to talk through the best ways to communicate the direct debit ask and to get as many monthly donations as possible. If you're not a member of Local Giving, you can join now. It costs £96. That will be a 1-year membership. And from that 1-year membership, you'll get access to a Local Giving page, so we can process one-time and monthly donations for you. Regular access to match fund campaigns, including Grow Your Tenor, but also a variety of other campaigns that we run through the year. You'll be able to run crowdfunding style appeal pages, target-based, issue-based appeal pages. You'll be able to have an unlimited amount of people sign up to be a fundraiser for you, so as many fundraisers as you want in one account. You'll be able to get one-to-one support from our team of trained fundraisers, so me and the rest of the team on our Local Giving help desk. And then you'll get in-depth reporting for your finance and marketing, so reports you can download in your account that detail all the donations that come in and information about the donors who are donating to you. So today we covered the key facts of the campaign. We went through the different limits that the charities, the supporters have. We went through the different things to bear in mind. Some of Grow Your Tenor's key achievements to date. We gave those 2 case studies of successful groups. And we went through resources and communications during the campaign. I'll send around the slides to everybody. The slides will be sent around Sonia over the next 24 hours. This video will also be available on YouTube, so you'll be able to watch it back if you'd like on YouTube, and we'll be putting that up very soon. If anyone has any questions, Emma and I are here. I'm happy to take questions if you pop them in the chat on the bottom left-hand corner. But just in general, for all the members of Local Giving, good luck with the campaign. Make the most of it, promote it as much as possible, and get as much of that match funding as you can. For the groups who aren't yet a member of Local Giving, now is the time to join. There's a couple of weeks before this all starts, so sign up now, get ready, and yeah, make the most of the match fund campaign. Thanks, guys. If anyone has questions, just pop them in the chat on the bottom left-hand corner. I see Emma's getting I think she's got to all of them so far, so I'm happy to answer a few now. I see a few familiar names in the chat list. Sonia. How do you access the above mentioned resources? So there's 2 places where there's Local Giving resources. On our homepage, if you go to what we do, there's a resource page. But the best place to get all the Grow Your Tenor stuff is to log into your account, go to My Fundraising Toolkit, and click on Grow Your Tenor. So just log into Local Giving, and it's the option in the middle of your dashboard. It says My Fundraising Toolkit. That's the best place. That's where you'll get all the posters, all those guides I was talking about, all those templates to use. It's sort of a pre-packaged campaign marketing kit. No problem. Best of luck with it. Let us know if you can't sign into the account, and we'll make sure that you get access to it. Yep, Julie, you've got it. So the donor sets up to pay £10 a month. So they'll pay £120 over the year, and the last 6 months of their donation will be matched. So that'll be £60. So in total, it'll be £180 with the potential of gift aid as well. Hope that is clear, Julie. There's more information on our website, but it looks like you've got it. The second 6 months of a 12-month direct debit will be matched. Glad to hear you think it's straightforward, Sarah. Thanks for coming along. If you do have any questions, please get in touch. So the last time we ran Grow Your Tenor, Kathy, it actually overran. So it ran the full length of the campaign, and we actually extended the date. So last year, I don't think it did run out in the end. We ran a match run campaign a couple months ago, and it ran out very quickly. So it really depends on the campaign. I can't give any certainties about how long it will last, but I do think that it will probably go for at least a couple of days, or at least a few weeks. But it really depends on the reaction that we get. So every time. So the best thing to do would be to get everybody to do it, on the 10th, on the 11th, and then to try and get more people over the line, but to try and get the key supporters making donations as quickly as possible, so that you increase your likelihood of reaching your targets and getting as much as possible. Yeah, so Pat, if you set it up for 9 months, you would have to cancel it yourself, and you'd only get 3 months of the match funding. So you would set it up, you would give 6 months donations, and then 3 would be matched. And then you can cancel the direct debit if you want in your supporter account on Local Giving site, or you can go to the bank and ask them to cancel it. So the answer is yes, you can set it up for as long as you want or as little as you want, but with this campaign in mind, if you were wanting to get the match funding, you would only get 3 months of match funding, so it would be £30, which is not nothing. I presume there's some unique circumstance there that you could only do it for 9 months. Maybe someone's moving abroad or something, but the answer is in theory yes, but the idea is that you keep people signed up for as long as possible, especially the first 12 donations. Any other questions, guys? Yeah, so Debbie, when a donor makes a donation on Local Giving, they have the option to opt into communications, and so like most websites and most places that you use money on the internet, so they opt in to receive communications from you. If they do, and if they're happy to receive emails from you, which most donors in my experience are, you're able to go into your into your Local Giving account. You click on donations and then click on reports, and you can download a report, which is an Excel sheet with all the email addresses of the people who've opted into communications for you. So I'd actually encourage you to have a look at that report now if you're a member, see all the email addresses that I'm talking about, and add them to your newsletter, add them to your email list. But the answer is yes, you get the contact details so long as the donor is happy to be contacted. Thanks, Caddy. All right, guys, I think that's it. Thanks for coming along. We have those other 3 webinars coming up. They're all at 1 o'clock. They'll all be half an hour long. So if anyone has any questions, give us a call, give us an email, and yeah, talk to you then. Oh yeah, one last question, Lorna. So we send them an email after they make the donation, which thanks them and confirms that the donation has been processed and everything. Then in your Local Giving account, you can send quick thank yous. We have a system where you can just ping off thank yous and use templates. You can have up to 3 saved templates. You can also go to that marketing report I was talking about and download a list of your donors if you wanted to send them a more in-depth email. So there's a couple of different ways you can email them. But yes, they do get an automatic email in addition to anything you send them. I really encourage you to send emails from the charity if possible. Just log in and send off those quick emails in your dashboard. All right, guys. Thanks for coming along, and yeah, best of luck with the campaign.